Right, I'm going to teach you how to fold up a tent. There's obviously lots of different ways you can do it, and there's no right or wrong way as such. But this is what I feel is the best way to get the tent in the bag. So first of all, normally the tent when you take it down is connected together, where the inner is actually connected to the fly sheet. So under what conditions might you want to separate them, or you might want to keep them together? Yeah, so if the fly sheet's really wet and you're camping the next night, then you definitely want to separate them, because otherwise the water will transfer to the inner and everything will get really damp. If it is damp, then often just putting it up and open the door and letting the wind, dry it will happen very quickly. But yeah, ideally you want to avoid that. Other reasons?
Weight contribution.
Meaning?
Between like our bags.
Oh, so splitting it between people. Yeah. So if you want to use taking the fly, one of you taking the inner. Cool. So it doesn't matter if they are connected together. You do exactly the same principles. We'll talk about the concepts and principles behind it. Okay. So when you're packing up your tent, what's the difficult bit? What's the bit that frustrates you when you're doing it?
Trying to get it in the bag.
Yeah. So why is that difficult?
Because it unrolls.
Yes, because it's made of really slippy material, isn't it? It's really hard to keep hold of. Now this particular brand, the Endurance Access Expeditions, I think, they make really big bags. This is actually quite easy, but the other tents we have, the Halos, they're quite it's quite a squeeze to get them in. So the idea, what we want is we want to get the grippiest part of the tent on the outside. So the grippiest part of both the fly sheet and the inner is the ground sheet. Okay, it's made of much heavier duty material and it's proper grippy. So what we do is we just fold it basically any way you like. I don't really mind. So that the ground sheet is on the outer of both bits, and then you want to fold it up to make it a bit shorter. And what I've kind of done is I've made it so it'll fit sideways in the bag. Then you want to fold the fly sheet exactly the same way, but you want to make it shorter than the ground sheet, than the inner. The reason for that is that if you have it the same length, where you roll and get to the end, it's going to all end up splitting up. Now most people, when they roll a ground sheet, will roll it towards the open end. The idea being that air escapes a bit easier, but the problem is that you then have a really difficult thing to keep hold of. So if you arrange them so that the fly sheet is shorter and roll it towards the closed end, you have to do it slower to let the air escape. But then once you've done it, it's really easy to keep hold of. You can just do it with one hand and whack it in the tent bag. It's easy as that. The only other thing I would say is with your pegs, ideally you want to put them in so that all the heads, the non-spiky bits, are face down, just to give the bag a bit more chance of a long and fruitful life. Otherwise, just if you put all these spikes all face down, you just end up getting holes in the bottom of the bag. Okay, and then just slot that down the side. Okay?
Perfect.
Super, thank you.